Yes, it is the 132nd episode of. What the hell did I call this? What did I call this? No. Cooking Videos with Dave, the 133rd installment of this franchise. And we got a bunch of videos for you today. Give everyone a couple of minutes to come on in here.
We try every
Oh.
It doesn't get much better than
We'll do that one. Alright, just about ready to start the show.
I checked all state.
Damn, I hope this guy's okay. He hasn't uploaded for 2 months. Anyway,
These are
All right.
great for game day
Every
or any
pizza
day you
that
want a
anyone can
really
make.
quick pizza. Okay, so we're
hey, cuck boy!
making bar pizza. This is not really a New York thing. This is more of a New England thing. Very popular in a lot of places.
I can't even, something, Faye, jackass. How you doing, cucky?
Places across New England. And I did a little bit of research on it, so it's a little bit different than, I say, your traditional New York pizza. Though, for the dough, I'm making the dough almost exactly the same as I make my New York pizza
You know cucks can reclaim what? Suck the other guy's splooge out of their wife's pussy?
dough. And that consists of 1 3/4 cup of bread flour, or 236 grams, 5.5 ounces of water. It could just be cold water. Okay, and that's like roughly 155 milliliters. This is basically
If nothing else happens this stream, that is the greatest thing that anybody has ever said on stream. Yes! Okay, so basically, you're gay.
a 67 to 68% hydration. We're going to use 1 teaspoon of fine sea salt, a 1/2 teaspoon of instant dry yeast, SAF brand. This is the brand that pretty much every single pizzeria uses. I know you might have seen a video where some pizzerias use an active yeast or a different type of yeast, but for all intents and purposes, this is the best yeast to work with. This is what bakeries use too, because you can mix it straight into your dry ingredients. You don't have to proof it. It's foolproof, essentially. It's really, really easy to work with. 3/4 teaspoon of sugar, that's just granulated sugar, and 2 teaspoons of olive oil. These are our 6 ingredients for our dough, and we'll make the dough in a second. For the tomato, you only need 14 ounces. So if you could find a can, crushed tomato, 14-ounce can, that would be great. We're gonna drain the water out of it too. This is a 28-ounce can of Sclafani. These tomatoes really give you that authentic pizza sauce taste. And pizza sauce is not cooked. It's almost never cooked. I think Detroit pizza, they might cook it ahead of time, but almost every type of pizza, you're dealing with just straight tomatoes that go on top of your dough. And you know, we've done like 20 pizza videos on this channel, and it's pretty much always the same there. Cheese, they don't use straight mozzarella. A lot of the recipes I saw are like a mix of half and half mozzarella and cheddar. So I have half white cheddar, mild white cheddar, and I have half of Galbani mozzarella, whole milk mozzarella, low moisture, and it's 3/4
Yeah, you might get some videos.
cup, 3/4 cup of each. So 1.5 cups of shredded will be enough for our pizza. Make sure you shred it yourself. Don't buy the shredded stuff that has anti-caking agents, and that will burn first in your oven, especially because we're going to be cooking these at very high heat today. I have some pepperoni. We'll do 1 pie with pepperoni. This is just, you know, your typical pepperoni that you get on a regular pie. I'm not using cupping pepperoni, but you certainly could. That would be great. Sicilian oregano, we'll put a little bit on a tomato to give it that traditional pizza taste. And then I have 3 tablespoons of olive oil and a little bit more than 3 tablespoons of butter. This is going to go on the bottom of our bar pizza pans, and I'll show you those pans in a second. Most recipes I've seen for the bar pizza, they're using corn oil or vegetable oil, which a lot of New York pizzerias do too, even though they don't say it. It actually gives better browning, those type of oils, than olive oil. But the combo of olive oil and butter are going to do the trick for us. And we've already tested this recipe. You'll see how it is. It'll be nice and...
Hey, Daggerish, I don't know if you know this, but calling me a coward is less than nothing now. It's like, you know, saying the word misogynist, racist. These words have lost any and all meaning.
Crisp at the bottom. All right, so that's all the ingredients. Let's make the dough. All right, so just a half a can of this is going to be enough for 2 pizzas, and you know, nothing prevents you from making 4, 6, 10 dough balls, which, you know, if you have, like, say you have a big party, it'd be easy to do. So I'm going to pour in half of this can, and I'm just going to eyeball it. So you can see the water, how much water is already coming out of this. I would say let it drain for about 3 minutes. You could over drain these and it'll be too dry, but you need to get this water out of there. You really need to do this all the time with really any pizza you're making. I just take a spoon.
All right, that's not what I do, but...
kind of move it around. Yeah, that's like a half a can. It's already pulling out like almost a cup of water from there. So if you put that on your pizza, no amount of heat is going to be able to make it look good without it being very mushy. Okay, so about like that.
Maybe I'll have to try that.
Your tomato water if you want, you know, use it for another purpose. I'll just save it in case I pulled out too much water. And that wasn't a cup, that was about 5 ounces I pulled out. I'm just gonna stick them back in here. Gonna season it up with a pinch of salt, okay? Good pinch. And then you can use an immersion blender if you want this to be smooth. You could also throw this in a regular blender, but since it's such a small amount, we'll just use the immersion blender. All right, that's good. You don't have to go crazy with it, but I kind of like the smoother consistency more than using the crushed right from the can. Okay, and that's our tomato. Now, again, if this is too thick for you, if you think you drain too much, just put a little bit more of that tomato water right back in there. So if you like main course recipes, which I'm sure you do because you're watching this video, I want to let you know about our new cookbook, Sip and Feast Family Favorites. It has plenty of main courses in there. In addition to that, it has all the other sections you would expect to find in a cookbook. It is a beautiful cookbook, 256 pages, over 100 recipes, beautiful photo, nice instructions, good story in every single recipe. It has US customary and metric measurements, so everybody will be able to follow along with these easy recipes. Right above you is the link where you can buy it. You can get it on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and all other sellers. QR code if you're watching on TV, which I'm increasingly aware that the majority of you are watching on TV. It's also pinned in the comments and in the description. If you don't like cookbooks, you just like watching our videos, buy it for a friend or family who does. Thanks. Okay, again, this is our 1 3/4 cup of bread flour. You can also use all-purpose flour if you want. It's 236 grams roughly. 1 teaspoon of fine sea salt, 3/4 teaspoon of sugar, granulated sugar, and 2 teaspoons of yeast. You can mix everything together. Now, we get a lot of questions because I think people are watching other videos where people aren't using instant and they're proofing active
Oh, I use instant all the time.
yeast. They're putting, they're putting the 110-degree water in there or milk, whatever they're making. I just don't know why people go through the trouble when, first of all the experts, the best places in the world are using this type of yeast. I don't see a reason to mess around with it.
I just don't want to tick around for the 10 minutes for the active yeast. To me, if I'm going to do that, I'm going to use that for bread. But bread is damn near an all-day process. And bread is completely different than pizza dough.
It just gives
I've made bread before, sweetheart.
you so much consistency. Same thing, bagel shops, like all of them. They're all doing that. I think some places stick to the old style or old place. They've been doing things a certain way. All right, so that's just combined. Okay, and then I'm just gonna put in that 5.5 ounces of cold water. Now you can throw everything right in your KitchenAid and 5 minutes, 6 minutes on level 2 to like level 3. It's easier, especially if you want to do like 10 dough balls. So if you're gonna like 5.
Oh hell, I don't do that. I keep it on the first setting, the stir setting, and let the dough hook do its thing. Takes about 8 minutes.
Times this recipe, toss it all in the KitchenAid. When I'm dealing with such a little amount of dough, I just do everything by hand. Okay, just mix this together into just a very rough, shaggy mass. This amount is going to give us a perfect 2 7-ounce dough balls, which are going to be perfect for our 10-inch round bar pizza pans. If you're going up to 12-inch, you're going to have to size up a little bit on the dough, which is simple to do. You just calculate the surface area of the 12-inch, which I can't do right now in my head. Okay, just like that. Then what I do is I'll put the oil in last, just so it can kind of like get some of the remnants of the bowl. That's 2 teaspoons of olive oil. I just made these recently for our website, and same day I made a Detroit pizza. It was great. I mean, amazing. So I'll probably make a video for that too, but I feel like I didn't perfect it, so I'll wait a bit to do that. But that one, that's a lot of dough for that one, for one 9x13. Tara, you tried both of them that night. You still preferred this bar pizza over the Detroit, right?
Yeah, but that's my personal preference. Like, I would always choose like a regular New York like triangle slice over a Sicilian or a grandma. So I just like the thinner pizzas.
Yeah.
But they were both delicious, but I have to say the bar pie was just outrageous.
I think it's outrageous because it's the easiest pizza to make.
And it's very easy to eat.
Yes, easy to eat too. It's very similar to, I would say, the grandma pizza, like the consistency on the bottom.
It reminded me of like, if you go to a bowling alley, the pizza there is usually pretty bad.
Yeah, I heard about a Power Falcon.
It's like that same concept. It's a small, like almost personal sized pizza.
Yeah, just way better than.
It's just a million times better.
All right, so I'm just going to knead this for roughly 5 to 6 minutes. If you have a hard time doing this, you can invert your bowl over this, just like this. Okay, just put it on top and wait like 20 to 30 minutes. And when you come back, you'll be able to do it. Okay, this is just after 2 minutes. All right, so it's starting to transform. Just keep doing it for another 3 minutes or so, 4 minutes.
Try Taco Bell's $5, $7, and $9 lunchboxes today.
You created a fake animal, which makes the other animals think you're an animal. Yes, we call it hop.
I'm not having a hard time with this hydration of it sticking to me, but you might, okay? So You can invert the bowl and just wait a little bit before you go back again. If you put it in the KitchenAid, it's going to turn into this quicker because that can knead faster than any human can.
How many calories do you think you're burning doing that?
Not much. It's definitely more of a workout for the shoulders and the triceps.
But
Because
it's
you're just like forcing down the whole time.
so it's not enough to like warrant eating the entire bar pie yourself.
Absolutely not. And there never is. There's never amount. No matter what you do working out, it will never, ever, ever make up for what you eat. I've learned that the hard way over the years. So, or what you drink. Okay, that's even worse.
Yeah.
I've stopped the alcohol for a while now, and I might stop for good. Yeah, this is
For God's sakes, why?
good now, okay? All right, that's good. You can just eyeball it, or you can break out your scale. 13.9, so somehow I lost a little bit, but anyway, roughly a 14-ounce dough ball. So we're gonna cut this in half to 7 each. 7.2, 7.1, 7. All right, so 6.9 and 7. That's good enough. All right, and I have 2 containers just that I oiled, and we'll just ball these up. Okay, just like this, like this, like this. Okay. This is a pressing pizza anyway into the pan, so it's not like a New York pizza where you want your ball to be super tight.
I mean, it adds more volume. I mean, weight, I guess is the right word.
There's a little bit of oil on the bottom of this, but 7. Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah, I could deflate this. If I just punch this down, I could turn it back into the same size as the other one. Let's oil those pans and make our pizza. You got to get your oven to 500 degrees Fahrenheit. If you have a regular oven, I'm in this kitchen here with this oven. The old oven I have, that's in my other kitchen, okay? That's where we first filmed our videos. That oven it has a coil, electric coil that's exposed at the bottom. That oven at 450 will cook even hotter than this 500 degree oven. So you might have to fool around with temperatures depending on what type of oven you have. But it's not a problem because what you're gonna do, and I'll show you in a second, is we're gonna check it halfway through. But let's get them in the pan right now. Okay, so these are 10-inch bar pizza pans made by Lloyd's. So if you watch the other videos, I have a grandma pan that's made by Lloyd's. I have a New York Sicilian that's made by Lloyd's. I have the Detroit pan that I purchased. They're great pans. They're dark. They have this whatever coating that can go super high heat, which a lot of other types of pans that have like a similar coating, they're not rated for that. So these are absolutely perfect.
I do just fine with my pans and having it at 550.
For making pizza. Now, that being said, if you don't want to go out and buy these, a cake pan, a dark cake pan, 10-inch would be fine too. So don't think that like I'm trying to force you to get it. I have 2 of them. To be honest, I think I'm going to get 2 more because the beauty is if I had 4, then I can have all 4 pizzas ready to go. Probably do 2 at a time in the oven, and it would be a lot faster. All right, so this is 3 tables.
All right, fuck. I gotta pee. I'll be right back. I'll do this every time. All right. Let's get back.
Tablespoons of olive oil. Put it half in each, so it's 1.5 tablespoons in each, roughly. And it says 3 tablespoons of melted butter. I think I melted 4 tablespoons, but the more oil and butter you put at the bottom of this pan, the better chance you're going to have to really brown it without using a steel. Just get it all around and actually get the sides of the pan too. So let's put them in there. And now they're pretty cold still, even though I'd say they've been out of the fridge for, right? It's got to be over an hour.
Yeah.
It's very sticky, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of this on my hands and just start pressing. In fact, what you can do is you can flip it initially, which is a good idea.
Oh, flip it.
And then now it won't stick. So what we're going to do is press this out completely to fill the pan. You're not going to be able to do...
Maybe I'll start actually, instead of using like my cooking spray, I'll maybe start doing this to my pans. A little bit of melted butter.
Do this in one shot. This will be familiar to you if you make panned pizzas. You can always tell if somebody can make a good pan pizza or not. Person who can stretch it properly, it will be in a rectangle initially and then it'll all just come in. You just got to give it time. All right, that's what we're going to do initially. This will give you time anyway, because you really want to get that oven at 500 degrees for a good amount of time. Don't like get right when it hits 500. Put these in, just let the oven get even hotter. All right, so I'm just covering with plastic wrap, and then we'll wait about 20 minutes, and then we'll try to restretch again. All right, so it's been 20 minutes roughly. What's nice about even letting it sit for a while, the butter itself kind of solidifies in the pan, which makes it a little bit easier to spread. So yeah, I'm telling you, it's been 20 minutes and we'll probably be able to fit it here. It's going to bounce back a little bit, so we might have to just cover it one more time, but we'll almost be there, which is good. And
all right, my pizza's a little bit easier to work with than that.
Center this one. I'll just go like this, like rotate the pan as I'm stretching it. Yeah, it's very close to there. Try to slide some of that butter back underneath there. There's no crust on these bar pizzas, so you're not like leaving a little bit of extra dough on the edge. You're just pushing it all the way to the edge of the pan. And it's gonna be the same thing with the sauce too. All right, I'm gonna give these another 10 minutes, then we'll definitely be able to stretch it completely and we'll be able to sauce and cheese it and get it into the oven. So our oven is nice and hot at 500 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, so they're stretched. Just push them a little bit to the edge. We'll do one at a time. So sauce. So I'm gonna use about half of that drained 14 ounces of crushed tomatoes on here. And you could just do it all the way to the edge pretty much. All right, get in there a little bit more, stretch that dough, touch. So this is just some Sicilian oregano here. Just take a little bit in your hand. Okay, and just sprinkle it on top. And then this is a mixture of mozzarella and mild cheddar. And it's gonna be about 3
That's where you got your dry thing from, because he added cheddar to it.
quarter cup for each pizza.
And cheddar is fucking drier than Nancy Pelosi's cunt.
Of shredded. That's going to be roughly 85 grams worth. Okay, you can push your cheese even all the way to the edge, because what's going to happen is when it melts inside of the like on the sides of the pizza, you're going to get like a nice crust all the way around the edge, because it's going to fall inside the cracks. All right, we'll move that one off to the side, and then we'll do the next one, which will be the pepperoni. Made a mistake. Didn't do it. I'm going to do it right now. I'm glad
I don't know. Maybe I will try his pizza sauce thing, just for the hell of it. Because I am curious.
Remember, you got to poke holes in this. If you don't do this, it's going to go like a volcano. Okay, the air. So poke holes in it.
Hey, dude, you can buy one of the rollers for like $8 on Amazon, motherfucker.
We want this to stay flat.
Is it too late for the other one?
No, I'm doing the other one too. It'll be fine.
What, because I made a joke about Nancy Pelosi's cunt? Oh, yeah, I'm sure I'm the only one that's made that joke.
I'm glad I remembered that. It's the only type of pizza that you do this.
Dude, the thing is like this big by about this big. It doesn't. It's about the size of a cheese grater. How small is your kitchen?
Cheap pizza places will do this all the time. They'll like Papa John's and Domino's, like fake pizza places. They'll use a dough docker to do this. It's really the only time you'll see it is on type of pizza. I don't poke holes in the ground.
Well, fine. If you want to waste your fucking time and do it with a fork, good on ya. I just have my pizza thing.
Come on, it doesn't do this. I guess it's because this is smaller. That's fine. I'm not using pecorino or anything. You definitely can. You can add a little dusting on it. Might need a little bit more cheese for this one, or I might have put too much on the other one. Yeah, I think I put a little bit too much on the other one. But it's fine. Okay, and then if you want pepperoni, just get them close to each other. They're going to shrink. You could put anything on here if you want. Crumbled sausage.
I would put black olives on that.
Yeah, the nice dyed black olives from the can, right?
The fake ones.
Or the wet mushroom.
Well, it's just been used by every fucking pizza place I've ever seen on diners, drive-ins, and dives, but whatever. And it's not that big.
Mushrooms from the can,
Yeah.
right? One or the other, right?
See, no, I want real mushrooms on my pizza, but I have to admit, and I'm embarrassed to, that I like those canned black
Time and
olives.
place for those fake ingredients. There really is, and they're not fake.
Well, I was gonna say, what's fake about it, motherfucker? Please tell me you're not one of these people that believe there are rules in cooking. There's not. There might be rules on what qualifies as a dish, but there are no rules in cooking.
I think the black mushrooms are dyed black.
The black olives?
The black olives.
Yeah,
they're
no,
dyed black.
I think they are.
Yeah, like the ones
Probably
from
not.
Domino's and those
Yeah,
places.
they're probably not like the best for you.
Oh God, I got, because I've always been a fast reader. I got so many personal pan pizzas from Pizza Hut under that program.
But
Yeah.
I don't know. It's kind of like a nostalgia thing.
For sure.
Joe?
Optimal poop in 10 days. New Iams Pro.
Yeah, if I get another dog, I'm not feeding him Iams.
Okay, so one last thing, because we're putting this in a 500-degree oven on the lowest point of that oven.
Iams is dog shit.
If you have like that rack at the bottom that's even lower, get it on there. Make sure you wipe off the sides here for any residual butter or
I don't know how to tell you this, kitten. Men don't have a wall.
oil, because if it comes off, and you know, it might happen anyway, the splattering when it hits the oven deck is going to smoke, potentially set off your smoke alarm.
Or at least if we do, it's a lot farther down the road than with women.
All right, so all we're going to do is 8 minutes on these on the bottom, and then we're going to check. We got to check for brownness. If it's not brown enough, so if your oven isn't hot enough, even at 500 degrees, just keep it on the bottom rack for the whole time. All right, and the total cooking time of this pizza is going to be roughly 15 to 18.
Oh, wow, an ugly joke. Oh, heaven. Oh, no. How will I recover?
Minutes. That's how long it's going to take to get everything nice. I mean, you might have an oven that might be able to do it in 12, but I doubt it. All right, so we'll check it after 8.
Wouldn't I be up the tree? Isn't that where it would go? Not down? Because presumably everybody, you know, even the people that don't drink would be at the bottom of the alcohol tree.
Okay, these are 8 minutes. All right, so we want to just check really quickly the bottom of one. So like use something that you can kind of get under there. Okay, you see this? See the bottom? Now it's completely blonde still.
All right, yep.
Okay,
yep,
see that?
that's bad.
It's blonde.
That's
So
bad.
this is going to depend on your oven. If I'm telling you, if I do it in the other oven for 8 minutes, 10 minutes, even at 450, I'm going to have to move it up to the next middle rack or even higher up and finish it off. I'm just trying to like get some of that oil underneath there on both of them. Now I'm gonna check the other one too, just in case there's like a much hotter spot in the oven.
It looks the same.
Seems super blonde still, okay? So, same thing, I'm just gonna try to distribute that, and I'm gonna cook this for the remaining time on the bottom of this oven. Now, I just did it in this oven the other day, and it took basically the full amount of time to get it to that point. Ovens are gonna vary, all right? So I am, even though I'm saying the remaining time, which is basically another like 8 to 10 minutes for a total of like that 15 to 18 minutes, I'll probably check again at the 5-minute mark, so in case it's burning. These are going back in the oven. Here are the pizzas. Let's check the bottom. This has been 15 minutes total cooking time. Not the most brown that I would like, but not bad either. Okay, there you go. Like that. All right, so what we want to do is get these out of here. You know, let them rest on a wire rack for a second so they stay crispy on the bottom. And then we can cut them in a second. You can return them back to the pan if you want, but you could also eat them right away as well. All right, I'm gonna get the taste tester down. I'm just gonna cut these. I'm gonna show you the bottom, show you how these look. A knife is actually better for this because it's very crispy, especially on the edges. It's hard to go through. And you can leave this in quarters. You don't have to do
How is your pizza cutter hard to go through?
little pieces. Yeah, that's hard to get through. We want it to be like where it holds straight like this so people can eat it without it flopping around like a New York pizza. And the bottom will be very crispy, all right? We'll see when...
Until the next morning. The only thing that sucks about homemade pizza, it has to be ate that night. Otherwise, for leftovers, it kind of sucks.
He eats it. Now, I'm just cutting the regular. If he wants the pepperoni, I'll cut that one too, but they're essentially the same pie. I actually think I forgot to put the oregano on the pepperoni when I did it. I can't remember. We'll bring them down right now, and I don't want him to eat the whole pizza because I want to have some of this, you know? I just cut the regular. Did you want the regular or the pepperoni more to try?
Regular's fine.
All right, have at it.
So good.
We rarely rush a video out this quickly, but since everybody loved it, they're like...
Is there an ounce of masculinity in your boy? He needs to be in a fight.
Make a video for it, and here we are.
I don't care. It's okay, DeJuice. I'll unblock, unban, or whatever at some point. I don't care. All right, next video. All right, hopefully I don't get nuked for this, but this is Brock Lesnar discussing his steak.
What is your favorite food?
Steak. I grill my own steak. I love to grill. I spend a lot of time on my deck. I've got lots of land. I don't like seeing my neighbors. I like to see my land and grill a steak and have a
I tend to agree.
cold beer or a cold rye and Coke whiskey and grill me a ribeye, medium well.
Really, Brock? Medium well to the point that you almost destroyed any goodness in the steak? What is wrong with you? All right, now we're going to watch the bearded guy with 9 stomachs take on a sandwich that has never been beaten.
Chevy people who drive them. You probably know one.
Well, it's Brock Lesnar's land. He owns it.
Alright, we're in Long Eaton for today's episode. Hopefully I don't spend too long eating.
I have no idea where Long Eaton is, nor do I care.
Yeah. We're here to have a bash at this so far unconquered breakfast spaghetti challenge thingy. It's like a wooden chalet. Should we call it a chalet? It makes it sound nice and posh, doesn't it? Chalet, yeah. Bugger me, it's bright today. It's like being back in Vegas. You don't normally get weather like this in England. The Garden Cafe. We're going in. Hi, you alright? I'm here for your big giant sandwich thingy. Is that alright? Yeah. Can I just sit anywhere?
Yeah, sit wherever you want.
I'll grab a water here. I'm parched. Ooh. You can barely fit through the door frame.
Told you it was a big one. Pictures don't do it justice at all.
As if the chips are even necessary.
Holy shit! Okay, the killer is not the sandwich. It's that big-ass bowl of beans. I don't even know what the fuck this is. Tomato soup? But that right there would fuck me. I might, if I'm drunk enough, have a shot at this sandwich. Oh, but that bowl of beans.
It looks yummy though, look at that. That's a photogenic sandwich. Everyone's getting selfies here. What's actually in it?
5 bacon, 5 sausages, 5 black pudding, 5 cheeseburgers, 5 hash browns.
Cheeseburgers, the traditional breakfast ingredient.
Yeah. Bowl of beans, bowl of tomatoes, and onion chips. 5 eggs as well. Oh, 5 eggs.
Oh my god, and he's got to do fries too?
5 hash browns.
Cheeseburgers, the traditional breakfast ingredient.
Yeah. Bowl of beans, bowl of tomatoes, and onion chips. 5 eggs as well. Oh, 5 eggs.
So basically, it's bean. This is, in fact, I'm assuming tomato soup. Oh my god. This is fucking impossible.
And all these chips hiding behind it as well. Alright, cool. You want the chocolate milk and then apple juice? Yeah. You'll be on the toilet in 20 minutes, mate. 45 minutes.
Yeah, eat it all in 45 minutes.
And it's free, otherwise it's...
Otherwise, 25 quid.
25 quid?
Yeah.
It's not bad. And nobody's done it yet, right?
No one's done it. 5 people have failed, 5 people have done it.
5 people tried, 5 failings. I can see why. Right, sorry, go on. Give me a 3, 2, 1 and I'll get started.
3, 2, 1, go.
I think I'm gonna go with the tried and tested technique of eating some of the contents and then I'll eat it like a sandwich, hopefully. Yeah, just like...
Damn! That's something I can't do. I can't eat like a fried egg like it's a piece of cheese.
Like eating eggs with my hands, truth be told. Bad habit, I know. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the episode. Today we are at the Garden Cafe in Long Eaton, which I think is just south of Nottingham, somewhere between Nottingham and Derby, attempting their fry-up sandwich challenge, which, as you can no doubt see, is actually pretty colossal, so strap yourselves in. It might get a bit hectic, especially towards the end.
That's 2 eggs in 1. Sneaky. Oh my god.
You got a double yolk, didn't you?
It's a bonus, right? A double yolker.
Yeah, if I were the superstitious type, I might deem that to be a sign of good luck. I'm not though, so it's just like an extra ounce or so to eat.
Okay, what are these charred black pucks? They're not the cheeseburger. What the fuck are these things?
I don't want to do the hash browns and then leave the chips for the end. I don't know, you know. We'll see.
Yeah, I don't think that's how it works, mate, to tell you the truth. That's really a yes or no type of question. The answer to which, at this point, should have just been no. No, I'm not confident because this is heavy. Really heavy.
Could use a knife. I mean, knives around.
Yeah, you want a sharp one or
Cheers, mate. Team effort. I'm just going to cut this into 2 very large sub rolls. Classic this. Sausage, cheese and burger sandwich.
That's it.
Yeah, the world-renowned sausage, cheese, bacon, black pudding, egg, and burger patty sandwich. I suppose that means it's really more of a brunch sandwich rather than a breakfast sandwich. And those patties are not small, let me tell you. Luckily, we've got some wet ingredients to grease the wheels a bit, you know, in the shape of a bowl of tomatoes and a bigger bowl of beans.
This baguette's the problem. It's chewy.
My God, it's not tomato soup. It's like a bowl of tomatoes. Dude, UK, what the fuck is wrong with your goddamn menus?
Yeah, one of those chewy baguettes. A keen observation indeed. Keep it up, son. With insight like that, you'll make detective one day. I'm not wrong though. French bread is always pretty grueling to eat, which is why I'm making continuous use of the bowl of tin Tommies there.
The burgers are pretty thick.
Yeah, I think we covered that already. But there's a close-up for context. Can't go wrong with a good old-fashioned close-up. What we got left here? About 35 minutes or so. That's not bad.
Correct.
A few days you can't do that.
At least a day. Until I eat again, yeah.
Yeah, ordinarily. Might be a bit longer after this one. What are we at? 10 minutes in? And I haven't even finished the sarnie yet. Come on, lad. Fix up. Look sharp. That's a Dizzy Rascal lyric, isn't it? How hip of me.
Oh, thank you very much. You know me too well. How's my beard look? It's alright. I'll pass.
You're good. We'll get your crown fracture.
Oh my god, look how many beans. It's like a pound of beans. One whole thing.
Okay, I have no idea what one full tin of beans means.
So what about a pound? A pound of baked beans, no small amount. That said, the slight sweetness they provide is going to be very handy as we approach the end of this ordeal.
It's very kind of you, mate, but I think I'll get it myself. Just so I can, like, if I stand up, I can make some room, you know. Well, this is intense. I'm gonna get some more water from the fridge if that's okay.
Yeah, I'm so.
Got water all over here.
Did you want some napkins?
I've got some down
Alright, he's got 20 minutes
That was a big sandwich.
You know what, Sean? Bigger lads have only eaten as much candy.
Yeah.
The bigger lads.
He's right, he's right.
That's what I mean, that we use about regular.
What, has this guy just expanded and reduced his stomach to some dangerous size?
Breakfast, mate. I'm not giving the small one. One of those is good.
Yeah, that fellow makes an accurate point. Normally, the bigger the person, the less they can eat. In one sitting, anyway.
I told you, the sandwich would be no problem. But the sandwich was actually the problem. And now there's still the chips to go.
You said that when you was eating all the fish and chips, but you still managed to eat all the sauces.
Yeah, I was a younger man then, you know. Like the spring chicken, not quite what I used to be. It's like I don't want to eat these chips, man.
Oh yeah, tell me about it. There's plenty of them too. But we're gonna have to get them down. Fortunately, we're not even at the halfway point yet, so we've got plenty of time to work with. That was a bit of a pain going from something as flavourful as the sandwich was to a big pile of dry, cold chips. This is where you gotta dig in.
You need to pick a fork, Sean. You can get about 2 chips, like it's not best in.
Need a shovel or something, you know? Come on. The chips, man. I can't take it. Psychological trick this, you know, trying to make them look smaller. It's not really working.
Oh. Well, the more empty tray you can see, the better, I suppose. I'm just eating like a bear now. Fortunately, we can time-lapse it.
What do you say, blessing? I don't need your pity.
Still got the fucking bowl of beans. There is no way he's doing this.
From a guy that's tried it, mate. Nothing that you.
How am I doing for times? Anyone know?
Plenty of time, mate.
So 25 minutes in, bang on.
The beans, man. Like a full bowl of beans.
Yes.
Yeah, that bloke wasn't entirely accurate with his time there. We're only just rolling up on 25 minutes. Hopefully it won't be that tight-like.
I need to poop now as well. Sorry to share that with you. You probably didn't need that, did you? Just before lunchtime.
Alright, skip a bit. Let's find out if he makes it.
Well?
Yeah, I'm sure not fat.
You wouldn't mind grabbing me a Pepsi Max while you're in there, would you, buddy? Oh, thanks, pal. Team effort.
I have no doubt. Did you?
You had no doubt?
I have no doubt.
That's confidence, isn't it?
Right. Almost there. Got to get every last bean. Right, this is Beer Mixed Food, and that was the undefeated breakfast sandwich challenge at the Garden Cafe in Long Eaton.
How? Hi! Oh my God! How? Howdy, how? All right, now we're gonna look at some shorts.
Pepperoni Pesto Sicilian needs to be on your New York City Devour list. They layer their thick Sicilian dough with pesto sauce, mozzarella cheese, and pepperoni cups. Then they bake it in the oven to look like this. Slice it up. Drizzle on a healthy amount of hot honey. And there you have it. Devour this and some delicious Italian food at Donato's in Woodside, Queens. Who's
Okay, we don't need that one. By the way, if I know this is completely off topic for this channel, but Ric Flair is considering one more match. Everyone should tell him, no, you're too fucking old. Now we'll do this from Chud's Barbecue.
Welcome back to Chud's Barbecue. My name is Bradley Robinson, and today I'm going to show you how I made this. Beautiful, delicious, smoky, shrimpy, seafoody.
Yeah, I know wrestling isn't technically real, but their physical bodies do go through real punishment. And at 76, you shouldn't be in any sort of ring, be it a real sport or a scripted one.
Amazing! Shrimp and crawfish, etouffee, boudin. That's right, folks, we're taking all the great flavors of a lovely etouffee and stuffing it into a hog casing with some rice for a lovely Cajun sausage. Coming up!
Oh yeah, I also heard Mayweather is dragging his old ass out of retirement to fight an even older ass Manny Pacquiao. What is wrong with people? You know, when Kirby Bucket retired from the Twins, I was a little upset, but Jesus Christ, I didn't clamor for a retirement comeback. When Joe Montana, when John Elway, when Dan Marino, when all those guys left the NFL, nobody said shit. What is this whole thing of like, I suppose maybe because it's more single athletes, what is this thing of them having a nostalgia tour? It's over! Alright, I have to go take a whiz. I'll be right back.
This is some shellfish.
You know, it's kind of like Ozzy was performing well beyond what he should have been. But at least that's a concert. At least the Ozman could have went out there, just sat on a chair and sang, which is exactly what he did during his last concert. Unfortunately, just before he died. But yeah, if you're an athlete, yeah, unfortunately, you're going to spend most of your life in retirement.
Pat 'em dry. And what I've got here is some head-on, peel-on shrimp. Picked these up from the grocery store. Got these last night because they were frozen, but I let them defrost in the fridge overnight. Same deal with these crawfish over here. And I know working with head-on, peel-on shrimp can be kind of a pain in the butt because the first thing we need to do is remove the heads and the peels, but I promise it's worth it. And that's because today we're making a shrimp and crawfish etouffee boudin. And etouffee is one of my favorite things to make and eat because it's super tasty. And if you're unfamiliar, it's essentially a Cajun seafood stew of sorts, typically served over rice. And boudin is a Cajun sausage, which is also quite rice heavy. So I figure putting the two together ought to make for a fantastic dish. But if you've ever made etouffee before, one of the key ingredients is a really good seafood stock. That's really gonna bring a lot of the good flavor. And the store-bought stuff isn't very good, although you could substitute with clam juice if you're really in a pinch. And all the tedious work ahead of time will pay off with a very flavorful stock, and therefore a flavorful etouffee, and therefore a flavorful etouffee boudin. So let's get these all peeled up. Starting by removing the head, taking the legs off, and as much of this shell as will come off with the legs. Pinch the tail, and it should all slide off like that. Beautiful little shrimp, and the beginning of our shell pile. So now we
don't forget to devein, because you don't want to eat the poopy sack.
Repeat this.
You don't want to eat the poo-poo. You don't want to eat the poo-poo. No, you don't want to eat the poo-poo.
Many times. Luckily, it's very easy. And I have tried making seafood stock with just the shells of shrimp before, and it works, it's pretty good, but really the heads bring a lot of the flavor and the creaminess and the richness that make this dish so fantastic. So highly recommend it. Just get some buddies involved. You can fly right through these. But we're also gonna do the same thing to these crawfish. We're gonna go ahead and pull the heads off, a lot of really good flavor in there. That's gonna add a lot of richness and flavor to the stock, and then I'm gonna do my best to peel these tails to add some more wonderful meat to our eventual boudin. And just like that, after about 30 minutes of some very tedious peeling, we've got ourselves a whole bunch of shells, as well as some cleaned up shrimp and crawfish tails. And that's probably not enough, so I did buy some deveined and deshelled shrimp and crawfish, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. So in the meantime, into a pot we go with all of our shells.
Now we have his magical baking disc. This is the part of the show I still don't understand.
Probably should have used a bigger pot. And get that covered up with water. I found a bigger pot. And now we're going to bring this up to a simmer.
Okay, Owen McDonald. I don't know
This
what you're an
family
athlete
has been
in, but are you planning on being an athlete when you're in your 70s?
filling and filling their mill food recycler for a week now. And yet, it's still not full. 8 days? 9 days?
What the hell is this crap?
Nope. 10, 11, 12,
What am I making
13,
with this food
14.
recycler?
Not even close. That's because
Oh, compost. Yeah, no. I don't want a bunch of rotting shit in the house.
This stock has been simmering away for about 15 minutes or so, and now we're going to go ahead and add in all the veggie trim from everything we just chopped up, including the onions, some parsley stems.
I have no doubt that compost is great for your garden. I'm just not gonna make it in my fucking kitchen.
The green onion ends, bits of celery, just everything to help fortify the stock and add some more flavor. Also going to go in with a couple of bay leaves, black peppercorns, and a decent amount of some fresh thyme. And now back on the heat this goes, and I'm going to let it simmer for another probably 30 minutes. This video is brought to you by Rocco. And here at the Chud Shop, we've got a pretty
Alright, I really don't care about your goddamn thing. We'll go right here.
off your order. Pot with 1 cup of oil. And ideally, don't use a pot that you previously tried to make stock in because it'll pop and spit a lot. But once that is nice and toasty, in we go with our all-purpose flour. And we're gonna start making a roux, stirring this constantly till it cooks down and darkens up a little bit. And you could do this really low for hours and hours on end, but high heat and keeping an eye on it works out pretty well. This cooked for maybe 6 minutes, and that's the color we're going for. Not quite a full dark roux.
Again, Owen, do you think you'll be doing this in your 70s?
Not a blonde one either. Smells nice and toasty. So now while everything's ripping hot, in we go with our veg, including 2 yellow onions. Get those stirred in, followed by our celery, green bell pepper, and some jalapeno. And I also got the whites from the green onions as well. And let that start cooking down. It'll start releasing moisture and kind of deglaze the bottom of the pot and start to soften up. And while that cooks down, we'll go in with a nice big fat pinch of salt, help dry out some of the moisture, and begin the seasoning process because
I hope I don't make it to my 70s, but I know I will.
that's a lot of veg. And after cooking this down for about 15 minutes or so, all those veg have softened up, taken on some good color. Onions are starting to look translucent.
No, Power Falcon, you did not.
So now I'm going to go in with some tomato paste. And there's a bit of a debate whether tomatoes go in etouffee or not. I leave that to you, but for today I'm going to split the difference and go with a little tomato paste. Tablespoon or 2, we'll let that fry down a little bit, help intensify the flavor. And also go in with our garlic at this point. And let this cook down for maybe 2 to 3 minutes because we don't want that garlic to burn. But we do want it to be nice and fragrant. And once that starts smelling incredibly good, finally in we go with some of our lovely seafood stock. A little bit at first, get that mixed in, and then a little bit more, and then in with the rest. And for the record, that was about 1 gallon of seafood stock total. And now I'm gonna bring this up to a simmer and let this cook down for the next probably 30, 45 minutes or so, maybe even longer. Just let that roux cook into the stock.
Owen, we all face death at the end. This absurd goal of trying to live as long as possible while you degrade rapidly has always been absurd to me. I see these old fucks walking around or being sped around or whatever by marked carts or wheelchairs or whatever, and I'm like, why are you living? It's over. Go home and die.
Let all those flavors come together.
I don't get this human fear of death. Death is inevitable. Even if tomorrow scientists came out with a cure for natural causes and we'd all be perpetually 26, you're still going to die. There is one constant in the universe. Everything has a beginning point and an ending point.
And let this reduce down and concentrate just a little bit, which gives me plenty of time to get my rice cooker going. And after simmering away for...
I have things to live for too, but I just... this idea of extending life to the point where it's a fucking burden on everyone. Why?
The last 45 minutes to an hour, our little gravy situation here has thickened up nicely, smelling really good. All the veggies cooked through and nice and softened and all that good stuff. So now we need to go ahead and adjust the seasoning. Starting with everyone's favorite Cajun seasoning, little Tony C's, a little bit of salt, a little bit of heat, followed by a little shot of some Worcestershire sauce, a little paprika to help with the color, and some cayenne. But we're really going to dial in the cayenne and Tony.
Hell, I'll give you one very good reason that keeps me getting up in the morning and wants me to make myself live as long as possible. I want to live long enough to see the absolute destruction of the Democrat Party, of the left wing in this country.
Until it's as salty and as spicy as we want it to be. So we're just going to start tasting and adjusting.
But I also know that death is inevitable. Why fight like the devil against it? Besides, it doesn't matter. You could live the healthiest lifestyle on the planet and get hit by a bus tomorrow. Or be like Linda McCartney. Everybody remember her? Oh, yeah, that's right. You kids don't. She was the wife of Paul McCartney, one of the members of the legendary Beatles. This woman was a health nut, didn't smoke, didn't drink, ate healthy foods, was actually a veg-a-fucking-tarian. And hell, I think she was a goddamn vegan. And then, boom, she got ripped apart by cancer. So, yeah.
And once you get that spice and salinity dialed in, I'm going to finish this off with a little splash of white vinegar just because it is pretty rich and a little acidity I think will help this out quite a bit. But I got to tell you, it is very tasty, nice and thick from that roux, and very seafoody. And at this stage, if I was making regular etouffee, I would toss the shrimp and the crawfish in, let those cook through, and then we're ready to serve. But because we're making boudin, I'm not sure how much of this liquid we're gonna need in comparison to how much rice and how much shrimp, so I'm gonna try and keep them all separate. So I got this back up to a simmer, and I'm gonna take this little strainer here, pop that right down in there, and then go in with all of our shrimp. That way I can cook them and then pull them out. Also, I came through and I cut some of these bigger ones in half so we don't end up with a giant piece of shrimp or something that'll clog up the old stuffer here in a little bit. But this should only take maybe 2-3 minutes in this simmering stock. And then I'll go ahead and pull these out. And in no time at all, perfectly cooked.
Oh, and you can have a lot to live for, but don't live your life trying to avoid risks or trying to avoid dangers or living your life to the fullest because it might end you sooner. We all end.
Shrimp poached in gumbo/etouffee liquid. Sounds pretty good to me. And as for all the crawfish tails, they're already cooked. So I'm just gonna go ahead and throw them in the rice and this hot liquid, and honestly, it's probably gonna help cool everything else down so I can get in there with my hands. Speaking of rice, this is some long grain rice, 3 cups to be exact. I've put a little bit of Tony C's in there with the water and popped it in the old rice cooker, and now it's done. So out it comes. And we'll go ahead and get that fluffed up a little bit. And at this point, with our rice ready to go, I'm simply going to start eyeballing the amount of shrimp, the amount of crawfish, and the amount of liquid needed until this comes into that boudin texture where it kind of clumps together and isn't too loose. Starting out by going in with a bunch of shrimp. I want this to be pretty seafood heavy, folks. And then in with some of our crawfish tails as well. It's like I say in most of my boudin videos, a lot of the boudin you're going to get is really rice heavy because it's really cost effective for the business. But when you make it yourself, you can make it extra meat heavy, which makes it all that much better. Just going with all of it. Oopsies. And right off the bat, that is looking and smelling incredible. So now I'm going to start ladling in some of our little etouffee gravy over here, which is still piping hot. And whenever you're mixing boudin, it's important to really mix it up quite a bit because you're going to free a lot of the starches in the rice and it's going to start to bind together a little bit better. And after a little bit, that's what we're looking at. Once you can hold a big handful like that, that's kind of what we're after. I think I put about 2 cups of that liquid in, so really not as much.
Except it didn't hurt me. I just think you're assholes and I want you out of here.
As I was expecting, so I suspect we're going to have to add some more salt and other flavorings because we've got a lot of rice in here. But that's the beauty of boudin. Everything is fully cooked, so simply give it a taste and adjust.
Simple. When I made red, God, what the fuck was it called? Something slaw. Red cabbage slaw. Seen the recipe that day. Went to the grocery store. Made my dish. What do you want?
Ooh, that shrimp is perfectly cooked. Why are you standing right there with a bowl?
I want more broth.
Come drink some broth, buddy.
I'm always open to new experience. Because I know life can end at any time.
So good.
Still hot. It's got a pretty good...
Yeah, I heard that there was a guy with Tourette's syndrome at the BAFTA Awards, whatever the fuck that is. He yelled the N-word out, but he has Tourette's, and he's refusing to apologize. And it's like, well, I thought all you lefties were all also fucking sensitive to people with disabilities, which Tourette's is a disability. But again, you have your head so far up your ass on words that we have to have an issue with a guy that literally cannot control what he says.
Good kick to it, so I'm just going to go with some regular salt at this point. I'm probably going to add some more acid here in a little bit as well. But really, just taste and adjust until it is exactly how you want it to be. A little bit of heat, a little bit of brightness. And because I made way more of this gravy than we're actually going to use, I went through and I'm going to pull out some...
I don't know, when was the last time you actually seriously entertained somebody that challenged your point of view? I've debated you I don't know how many times, and you're so close-minded, there's no point to it.
Some of this veg from there to add to this boudin for some extra flavor and texture. Although I'll tell you one thing, not mad about having all that on hand. It's going to make making etouffee in the future very easy. Just grill off some shrimp, throw it on that, throw in some rice, good to go. Gotta tell you folks, this is tasting absolutely incredible. Salt is there, spice is there. So to finish it off, we're going to go in with some green onions and a healthy amount, as well as some chopped parsley for color, freshness, and flavor. Starting to look like buffalo chicken dip. That's weird. And on the horn we go. These are some 29 to 32 millimeter hog casings. Stroking on quite nicely, if I do say so myself. Tie it off. Snip the tip. That was weak. And now we begin casing. Gonna go for some standard sized links today. And casing boudin never ceases to feel really weird. Soft and warm. But it takes very little pressure, which is kind of nice. 1, 2, 3. Casing up nicely though, nice and plump. Loving all the green in there from the scallions at the end. And honestly, out of all the boudins I've made, some of them sound a lot worse to case than this. the word secretion comes to mind. Just casing these up like any other sausage link. Not having any problems with the chunkage of the crawfish tails or the shrimp at this point. Honestly, it's going pretty smoothly. And just like that, all cased up, looking nice and plump. Lovely color on there. No blowouts or anything like that. So now all we gotta do is smoke some off.
Maybe I should get a manual sausage stuffer.
And on the pit we go. Got the old offset here fired up with some post oak wood. Rocking right around 275, probably gonna creep up to 300 degrees. I'm just gonna cook off 4 of them for a little taste test. And I did leave these all linked together so we don't have a bunch of blowouts at the end because these casings are fresh. They didn't dry overnight, which can be a problem, but I'm gonna let the rest of them dry overnight before I vac seal them up. But for now, remember everything is fully cooked through, so really we're just trying to crisp up that casing and make sure everything is warmed and hopefully get that casing nice and snappy. So we'll see these in probably 30 minutes or so. And just like that, about 45 minutes later, these are looking absolutely beautiful, feeling nice and plump. The casings feel nice and snappy. Definitely got some good smoke color on there. And I just temped one in the back here and it's rocking right around 165, 170. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull these off. But so far, very happy with how these are looking, feeling, and smelling.
I'm done spending an obscene amount of money on takeout every week. Done.
I'm getting back on track with Factor.
Fresh, never frozen meals prepared by chefs. This saves us so much time when we're chasing.
Jesus Christ, it's still frozen slop.
But I'm gonna let them cool down a little bit. And after letting these rest down just a little bit, they are looking good, wrinkled up a little bit, but that's to be expected with a sausage that's mostly made of rice. But let's go ahead and snip these all apart. But held its shape, looking smoky, looking good. Do you think it's got a snap to it? Ooh, yup, love the color on that. Looks so good. Now, boudin can be kind of tricky to slice up, but let's see if we can get a few coins. Difficult because it's so soft, you know what I mean? But appears to be holding together today. Lots of seafood, lots of rice, see some veg poking in there. All right, I'm ready to see how this came out. And of course, we gotta have some of the gravy for dipping. Bones,
Yeah.
would you like to try some etouffee boudin?
Yes, that sounds so good.
As if we haven't been tasting it all day.
Well, we haven't tried the finished product.
Exactly. Looks pretty good though, held up, good form factor.
Lots of meat in there.
Mm-hmm. Not mad about that. Great texture on that. Oh. Ooh.
Wow.
That's not bad at all.
That is really good. That smokiness definitely transforms it into something
I was just gonna say the smokiness did definitely change it.
Yeah, that's so good though.
Ooh, the heat built up a little bit on it too.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that. Big old chunk of shrimp in there, a little crab. Crawfish
Crab?
is a crab. It's a lobster, crustacean of some sort. Did you go for the dip or did you go straight up?
I went for the dip.
We got separate dips, folks. No double dipping here. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that makes it more etouffee.
I think you kind of need a little bit of a liquid to it.
Yeah, I was thinking if I was going to plate this up or if I did this at a restaurant or something, it would plate up pretty nice, you know, like a boat or a plate with a nice dollop of the gravy on bottom, some shingled slices on top, a little green onion garnish. It'd be nice. Could have done that just now. Didn't.
Oh well. It is spicy, but
Yeah.
adding that hot sauce.
I mean, when we were tasting it though, I was like, oh, it needs more heat, heat. I think it's just kind of, I don't know, hydrated or something. You know what? I think more sausages need a little au jus to go with them, other than just the barbecue
Absolutely.
sauce.
There's something about etouffee that I can't stop eating it.
All right. I guess that's pretty much gonna be where we oh, the hell with it. All right, this is where we're gonna end it for tonight. So good night, everybody.